Zara stood at the viewing window of Galactic Academy Station, her purple skin reflecting the starlight as she watched the new arrivals. The human transport ship looked crude and outdated compared to the sleek Galatian vessels. How did they even get accepted to the Academy? She wondered, flicking her antenna in annoyance. Her roommate Neela joined her by the window, her forearms crossing in their traditional greeting stance. "You seem troubled. Zara, humans." Zara replied simply. "They allowed humans into the elite academy this year. Look at their ship. It barely seems capable of interstellar travel." Neela tilted her head, her green scales shimmering under the artificial lights. "The Council believes all species deserve representation, even developing." One Zara scoffed. "Developing is generous. Their planet only achieved warp capability 30 cycles ago. Most species take at least 100 cycles to advance from planetary travel to Academy acceptance." The docking bay doors opened, and the first humans emerged. Zara studied them with scientific curiosity despite her prejudice. They were shorter than most galactic species, with only 2 arms and legs. Their skin appeared soft and vulnerable, without scales or protective plating. Most disturbing was their hair, strange protein strands growing from their heads. One female human looked up directly at the observation window where Zara stood. Their eyes met briefly across the distance. The human smiled, a gesture Zara recognized from xenobiology. Class has a friendly expression. Something about that direct gaze unsettled Zara. The orientation gathering began in the grand hall with representatives from 20 different spacefaring civilizations. The Galatians naturally stood together, their tall, purple forms commanding respect as one of the founding Academy species. Principal Dorn, a respected Centaurian educator, welcomed the assembled students. For 200 cycles, the Academy has trained the brightest minds from across known space. This year we welcome our newest member species, humans from Earth. Polite applause followed, though Zara noticed many species sharing skeptical glances. Classes begin tomorrow. Principal Dorn continued. Senior students are expected to assist newcomers with orientation. To Zara's horror, she was assigned to mentor the human female she'd seen earlier. The human approached her after the ceremony. "My name is Kate," she said, extending her hand in what Zara recognized as their traditional greeting. Zara reluctantly touched the human's hand, finding it surprisingly warm. "I am Zara of Galatia, 3rd house." Kate smiled again. "I look forward to learning from you." Zara led Kate through the station, explaining basic systems and protocols. She was surprised by the humans' quick comprehension and relevant questions. "Your species files indicate you've only achieved warp travel recently," Zara remarked. "How did you qualify for Academy admission?" Kate looked thoughtful. "We develop differently than most species. Our technology advanced in unusual patterns. The Council found our approach to problem-solving unique enough to warrant inclusion." Unusual was an understatement according to what Zara had studied. Humans had developed weapons before medicine, space travel, before solving climate stability and artificial intelligence, before planetary unity. Most species followed predictable technological progression. Humans seemed to advance chaotically. The Academy training facility was their next stop. Zara demonstrated the simulation chambers where students practiced various scientific and tactical scenarios. "Would you like to try a basic simulation?" Kate asked, looking eager. Zara considered refusing, but her duty as mentor prevailed. "Very well. A simple planetary survey. Scenario should be appropriate for your skill level." She programmed the simulator for a standard Class M planet survey. Nothing challenging, just a basic exercise to assess the human's capabilities. The simulation began with their virtual ship approaching. An unexplored world. Kate took the controls with surprising confidence. "Standard approach vector," Kate said, manipulating the holographic interface. "Initial scans show atmosphere within acceptable parameters." Zara watched closely as Kate efficiently conducted the survey. The human was performing adequately until the simulation introduced an unexpected magnetic storm. "Warning, severe electromagnetic disturbance detected," the computer announced. The virtual ship began losing power. "This is beyond The basic parameters, Zara said, reaching to pause the simulation. Something must be malfunctioning. Kate held up her hand. Wait, I can handle this. To Zara's astonishment, Kate rapidly reconfigured the ship's shields, inverting the polarity and using the magnetic storm itself to power their systems. The solution was unorthodox but effective. Where did you learn that technique? Zara asked when the simulation ended successfully. Kate shrugged. Just something we discovered during Earth's early solar exploration. Sometimes the problem itself contains the solution. That evening in their shared quarters, Zara observed Kate unpacking her few possessions. Most interesting was a small device the human kept checking. Is that a weapon? Zara asked suspiciously. Kate laughed. No, just a personal scanner. Helps me analyze new environments. Humans are more sensitive to atmospheric variations than most species. Zara had never considered the vulnerability of having no natural armor or respiratory filters. Humans must constantly guard against environmental threats other species evolved to withstand. During the first week of classes, Zara was further surprised by Kate's performance. The humans struggled with theoretical concepts but excelled in practical applications and emergency simulations. While Galatian students followed established protocols perfectly, Kate consistently found alternative, often superior solutions. In advanced xenobiology, Professor Lydia presented a case study of a dying ecosystem on Rigel 7. The accepted restoration protocol involves introducing genetically modified organisms to gradually rebalance the ecosystem over 20 cycles, the professor explained. This was successfully implemented 5 cycles ago. Kate raised her hand. Have they considered introducing specialized fungi instead? Plants and animals get all the attention, but fungal networks can restore soil chemistry much faster and self-regulate their growth. The professor looked startled. That approach was considered too unpredictable. Kate continued. But Earth used mycelium networks to restore radiation, damaged ecosystems after our third global conflict. The recovery time was reduced by 60%. The class fell silent. Many students, including Zara, had never heard of such techniques. Professor Lydia finally spoke. That is precisely why the Council approved human admission. Your species' unconventional approaches offer new perspectives. As weeks passed at the Academy, Zara found herself reluctantly impressed by Kate's abilities. The human female consistently demonstrated unusual problem-solving during training exercises, often using minimal resources to achieve results that Galatian protocols would declare impossible. During a shared meal in the station's dining hall, Zara finally voiced her curiosity. Your species approaches problems differently than established methods. Why? Kate considered the question while eating the specialized nutrients provided for her unique biology on Earth. We evolved with constant threats, she explained. Our planet has extreme climate variations, natural disasters, predators, and limited resources. We never had the luxury of perfect solutions, so we learned to improvise. Zara repeated the unfamiliar concept. Galatians designed systems with multiple redundancies, perfect planning, and mathematical precision. Improvisation seemed chaotic and dangerous. Kate smiled, seeing Zara's confusion. When you can't predict every variable, you learn to adapt quickly. Humans call it thinking on your feet. Before Zara could respond, alarms blared throughout the station. Red warning lights flashed and the artificial gravity briefly fluctuated. Emergency containment. Breach in Laboratory 7. All students returned to quarters immediately. Kate stood immediately. Laboratory 7. That was where Professor Lydia was conducting the experimental biotesting today. Zara rose as well. We should return to our quarters as instructed, but Kate was already moving toward the laboratory section. That lab contained samples from 50 different worlds. If there's a containment breach, Zara hurried after her, frustrated by the humans' disregard for protocol. The laboratory corridor was deserted as they approached Section 7. Emergency seals had activated, isolating the affected area. Through the observation window, they could see Professor Lydia and 2 research assistants trapped inside. An experimental organism had escaped. Containment. A shifting mass of luminescent cells pulsed across the laboratory floor, growing larger as it absorbed equipment and nutrients. The professor and assistants had retreated to an elevated platform, but the organism was climbing the supports. The communication system was damaged, leaving the trapped scientists unable to call for help station security. "We'll handle this," Zara insisted. "We should follow evacuation procedures." Kate examined the security panel. "We don't have time to wait. The organism is doubling in size every few minutes." She pulled tools from her pockets and began reconfiguring the door controls. "What are you doing?" Zara asked, alarmed. "Creating a secondary containment field." Kate replied, working quickly. "If we can get inside, we can help them escape through the emergency maintenance shaft." Zara stared at the human in disbelief. "You want to enter the contaminated laboratory?" Kate finished her modifications. The door slid open, revealing a shimmering energy barrier she had created across the threshold. "This will hold the organism back for approximately 3 minutes," Kate explained. She removed her jacket and wrapped it around her hand for protection. Then she reached into a nearby maintenance panel and extracted a length of cabling. Zara watched in amazement as Kate fashioned a crude harnessing system. "The organism cannot climb smooth surfaces. It needs texture for adhesion," Kate explained. "I can use the ceiling tracks to move above it and reach them. This is against all safety protocols." Zara objected. Kate secured the cable around her waist. "Sometimes protocols get people killed," she said simply. Then she activated her improvised barrier and slipped into the laboratory. Zara watched through the window as Kate used the ceiling-mounted equipment rails to traverse the room, staying above the expanding organism. The human moved with surprising agility, swinging from one track to another. When she reached the trapped scientists, she quickly attached her cable system to the first assistant, helping them swing across to the maintenance shaft. The organism seemed to sense their movement and began growing more rapidly toward them. Kate managed to help the second assistant escape, but as Professor Lydia prepared to cross, the organism surged upward, nearly touching her. Kate made a split-second decision, dropping closer to the organism to distract it. The creature immediately changed direction, following the new movement. Kate barely managed to swing back up, but the action gave Professor Lydia enough time to reach the maintenance shaft. The organism now blocked Kate's return path, and her barrier at the door was beginning to fail. Zara made her decision. She had spent enough time observing human improvisation to understand the basics. Quickly, she accessed the environmental controls for the laboratory and activated the emergency cooling system. The temperature plummeted rapidly. The organism slowed its movement as frost formed across its surface. Kate took advantage of the creature's reduced mobility, making a desperate swing toward the maintenance shaft. She landed hard but safely as the organism began to solidify in the extreme. Cold Zara met them at the maintenance exit, helping the shivering human to her feet. "You violated 17 different safety protocols," she said, her antenna quivering with leftover adrenaline. Kate grinned, teeth chattering from cold. But it worked. After the incident, the station underwent full decontamination. Professor Lydia personally commended both Kate and Zara for their actions, though the Academy administration issued formal reprimands for their disregard of evacuation orders. The experience changed something between them. Zara began to see Kate's improvisational skills not as chaotic but as adaptable. The human, in turn, gained respect for Zara's knowledge of station systems, which had made the cooling solution possible. They began studying together, Zara teaching Kate the complex theoretical foundations of galactic science while Kate shared Earth's unique practical approaches. That evening in their quarters, they discussed the day's xenobiology lesson. "I still don't understand why your species wastes time with so many failed experiments," Kate admitted. "On Galatia, we test thoroughly before implementation." Zara considered this. "We can afford to. Galatia has stable resources, abundant energy, and environmental consistency. Earth does not. From what I understand, your planet experiences frequent disasters, limiting your development windows." Kate nodded thoughtfully. "You research until something works. We research until something fails. Then we try again differently." Their growing friendship attracted attention from other students. Some Galatians disapproved of Zara's association with a lesser evolved species, but others, particularly The Arcturians and Rigelians began joining their study sessions, intrigued by the exchange of different methodologies. The Academy administration noticed as well. One morning, Principal Dorn summoned both Zara and Kate to his office. "Your collaborative approach has produced interesting results," he said, his crystalline features reflecting the office lights. "The Council believes this represents the ideal outcome of including developing species in our program." Kate smiled politely, but Zara noticed her slight discomfort at the term developing. The principal continued. "We would like you to participate in the upcoming Galactic Science Exhibition. Your project will demonstrate this successful integration of different scientific approaches." After they left the office, Kate sighed. "Sometimes I feel like I'm just an experiment to them. An example of a primitive species learning from my betters." Zara felt unexpected sympathy. "What if we created a project that showcased Earth's unique contributions? A demonstration that the learning goes both ways?" Kate's expression brightened. "You would do that." The following weeks they worked tirelessly on their exhibition project. Combining Galatian precision with human adaptability, they developed an environmental restoration system based on Earth's mycelium networks, but enhanced with Galatian biotechnology. The system could adapt to unexpected changes while maintaining overall ecosystem balance. The day of the Galactic Science Exhibition arrived. The Academy Station transformed into a showcase of technological and scientific achievements from across known space. Representatives from all member worlds attended, including a small delegation. From Earth, Zara noticed Kate's nervousness as they prepared their demonstration. The human checked and rechecked their equipment with uncharacteristic hesitation. "Are you concerned about the functionality?" Zara asked. Their project had tested successfully, multiple times. Kate shook her head. "It's not that, it's the Earth delegation. My former professor is among them, Dr. Olivia Carson. She was my mentor before the Academy. She has high expectations." Zara understood the pressure of representing one species. Her own family held significant status on Galacia. Her performance reflected on their standing. The exhibition hall filled with visitors moving between demonstration stations. Zara observed the Earth humans with curiosity. They appeared similar to Kate, though with more diversity in coloration and size. They moved through the crowd with careful awareness of other species. Physical space. When the Earth delegation reached their station, Kate straightened her posture. A tall human female with silver, streaked hair approached, examining their display with keen interest. Dr. Carson. Kate greeted her. "This is my Academy partner, Zara of Galatia. We developed this environmental restoration system together." The older human studied Zara with intelligent, "Hi, so you're the Galatian," Kate mentions in all her communications. Zara tilted her head in traditional greeting. "Kate's insights have been valuable to our project, Dr." Carson smiled. Kate has always seen connections others miss. Even as a student, she frustrated her instructors by finding unconventional solutions. They demonstrated their system, explaining how it combined Galatian precision with Earth-inspired adaptability. The mycelium network responded to simulated environmental disasters, reconfiguring itself to maintain ecosystem balance without external input. "Most impressive," Dr. Carson said after their presentation. "Particularly the integration of different scientific philosophies." She turned to Zara. "How has working with a human influenced your approach?" Zara considered the question honestly. "I have learned that perfection is not always optimal. Adaptation has its advantages." The Earth scientist nodded thoughtfully. "And Kate has learned, I imagine, that improvisation benefits from structure." Their project received significant attention throughout the day. Many Academy officials expressed interest in practical applications, particularly for worlds with unstable environments. As the exhibition concluded, Principal Dorn announced that selected projects would be implemented on actual worlds requiring ecological assistance. Their system was among those chosen to be tested on Proxima Beta, a mining colony suffering from atmospheric degradation. This meant extended fieldwork away from the Academy. Kate and Zara would oversee the initial implementation. The Earth delegation prepared to depart the following day. Before leaving, Dr. Carson spoke privately with Zara. "Kate speaks highly of you," she said. "Her messages describe your exceptional Intelligence and growing flexibility of thought. Zara felt unexpected pride at the human's assessment. Kate has changed my understanding of scientific methodology. Dr. Carson studied her closely. There is something you should know about humans that isn't in your academy files. Our history is filled with conflict and destruction. We nearly destroyed our own world several times before learning better. Zara tilted her head, uncertain why the human was sharing this. We don't hide this history, Dr. Carson continued, but many find it disturbing that a species with our violent past gained space travel capabilities. We earned our adaptability through suffering and survival. The Council knows this. It's why some opposed our inclusion. Zara processed this information, wondering how it related to Kate. The human scientist seemed to read her thoughts. Kate, like many in our space program, represents our attempt to be better than our history. But the survival instinct that drove our evolution remains. It emerges most strongly when threatened. Remember this when you travel together. After the Earth delegation departed, Zara and Kate began preparations for their field assignment on Proxima Beta. The mining colony had once been a thriving operation, but years of resource extraction had destabilized the atmosphere, making surface activity increasingly dangerous. They traveled aboard a research vessel alongside other scientists and Academy representatives. The journey provided time to refine their implementation strategy. Kate spent hours studying environmental data from the colony. While Zara focused on the technical specifications, Kate analyzed patterns of degradation, creating predictive models. "You're quiet today," Zara observed. As they worked in the ship's laboratory, Kate looked up from her data analysis, just concentrating. "This colony world reminds me of Earth's history. The same mistakes, exploitation without sustainability." She hesitated before continuing. "Sometimes I wonder if all intelligent species follow this pattern or if humans are uniquely destructive." Zara considered this. Galaxia developed more harmoniously with our environment, but other worlds in our Federation faced similar challenges. Most spacefaring civilizations experience resource conflicts during development. What makes your species unique, Kate, is not your destructive capacity but your recognition of it. Kate smiled appreciatively. When they reached Proxima Beta, the reality of the environmental damage became immediately apparent. The colony existed under massive atmospheric domes while the outside world suffered under toxic skies and acid rain. The colony administrator Maya greeted them with desperate hope. "Our filtration systems are failing," the last engineering team estimated, 3 years before dome integrity becomes compromised. They toured the facility, observing the stressed environmental systems and frightened colonists. Most were miners and their families with nowhere else to go. Implementation began immediately. Their system required establishing primary mycelium nodes at strategic locations outside the domes. Kate designed specialized protective suits, allowing them to work in the hostile conditions. On their third excursion to place nodes, a severe storm developed, more quickly than monitoring systems predicted. Toxic winds reaching dangerous velocities forced them to seek shelter in an abandoned mining structure. The building groaned under the atmospheric pressure. Zara checked their oxygen supplies. "We have approximately 4 hours before requiring extraction." Kate examined their surroundings. "This structure won't last that long. The foundation's already weakening." Zara accessed their communication system, but the storm created too much interference. Kate's expression changed, becoming more focused, more calculating. Zara recognized this look from their laboratory crisis. The human was entering survival mode. "We need to stabilize this structure and boost our communication signal," Kate said. She began examining the abandoned mining equipment. "The standard protocol is to wait for extraction," Zara reminded her. Kate continued her assessment. "Protocol assumes the shelter remains intact. The support beams are deteriorating. We need alternatives." She located a partially functioning power cell from old equipment. With remarkable efficiency, she converted it to power their communication device, while reinforcing critical structural points. The storm intensified. Outside readings showed acid levels that would deteriorate their protective suits within minutes, even if they attempted to reach another shelter. Kate worked with increasing intensity. When the building's main support began to fail, she used mining tools to create an emergency brace. Her movements became precise, almost mechanical. Is this what Dr. Carson meant about human survival instinct? Zara wondered, observing her friend transform under pressure. The mining structure creaked ominously as external supports began failing. Kate moved with focused precision, repurposing materials to reinforce critical points. Her expression remained calm, but Zara noticed subtle changes, heightened awareness, faster reactions, and complete focus. The communications array Kate had modified suddenly activated. A garbled signal broke through the interference. "Kate, this is extraction team. We can't locate your position. The storm's magnetic properties are interfering with tracking." Kate adjusted their signal booster. "Colony base. This is Kate and Zara. We are sheltering an abandoned mining structure, Section 5, coordinates following." She transmitted their location data. The response came through, broken by static. "Signals too dangerous, extraction impossible until storm clears, estimate 8 hours. 8 hours. The structure wouldn't last half that time. Kate assessed the situation quickly. "We need to move to a more secure location, but the suits won't withstand the acid rain." Zara objected. Kate was already gathering materials. "We can modify our suits using the miner's protective coatings." She indicated storage lockers containing industrial sealants. "Miners use these to protect equipment from atmospheric corrosion." Zara hesitated. "This modification isn't in any protocol." Kate continued working. "The protocol assumes functional shelters or viable extraction. We have neither. We adapt, or we die." The directness of the statement shocked Zara. Galatians rarely discussed death. So plainly, the concept remained abstract, theoretical. But in Kate's voice, Zara heard the human understanding of mortality, immediate and personal. They applied the industrial sealant to their protective suits, creating an additional barrier against the caustic atmosphere. Kate tested the coating on a small section, exposing it to the environment through a minimal opening. "It will hold for approximately 20 minutes, she concluded. "Not long, but enough to reach the next shelter. If we move quickly." Kate mapped their route using old mining schematics located in the building's database. "There's a primary storage facility 2 kilometers east. It has reinforced walls and independent power systems." As the structure's main support began to collapse, they had no choice. With emergency breathers activated, they stepped into the toxic storm. The wind hit like a physical force, nearly knocking them off their feet. Visibility extended barely 10 meters ahead. Acid rain sizzled against their modified suits, slowly eating through the protective coating. Kate took Zara's arm, establishing a physical connection so they wouldn't lose each other. They moved as quickly as conditions allowed, following the navigation system in their helmets. Halfway to their destination, Zara's suit integrity alarm activated. The coating was failing faster than predicted. Kate immediately diverted their path toward a rock formation offering minimal shelter. There she applied their remaining sealant to Zara's compromised suit sections, sacrificing protection on her own back section. "We need to move faster," Kate urged. "The coating won't last." They resumed their journey, moving at dangerous speed across the unstable terrain. When they finally reached the storage facility, Zara's suit had nearly failed. Kate worked the manual override on the exterior door as corrosive elements began penetrating Zara's outer layer. Inside, they activated the emergency decontamination system. The facility power reserve still functioned enough for basics, life support. They removed their compromised suits, inspecting each other for exposure. A small section on Kate's back showed signs of acid penetration. Zara immediately applied medical treatment from their emergency kit. "You sacrificed your suit's integrity." "For mine," she said as she treated the injury. Kate winced slightly but shrugged. "It's what teammates do." The storage facility provided better shelter, but remained vulnerable to the intensifying storm. Outside, sensors indicated the atmospheric disturbance had grown beyond predicted parameters. "This storm is abnormal," Kate observed, studying the facility's monitoring equipment. "It's feeding on the thermal differentials created by the mining operations." Zara accessed the facility's database, confirming Kate's assessment. The colony had inadvertently created conditions for self-sustaining atmospheric disruption. This storm might not dissipate for days, Extraction teams can't reach us in these conditions. Zara stated. The logical conclusion was troubling. Kate surveyed their resources. The facility contained maintenance equipment, emergency rations, and limited power. Enough to survive temporarily, but not indefinitely. We're going to need to signal for emergency extraction. Kate decided examining the facilities. Communication array, it's damaged, but I might be able to repair it. While Kate worked on communication, Zara discovered something interesting in the facility records. Recent atmospheric samples contained traces of their mycelium spores. Despite the hostile conditions, the modified organisms had begun establishing themselves. Kate, this is remarkable. Zara called up the data. Our system is functioning in conditions far more extreme than we designed for. The mycelium is adapting to utilize the atmospheric toxins as nutrients. Kate joined her, examining the readings. Even with minimal node placement, the network has begun spreading. The primary colony is already showing increased atmospheric filtration. They shared a moment of scientific excitement, despite their dangerous situation. Their project was working better than anticipated. The repaired communication system activated, allowing them to contact the colony. Kate explained their situation and discoveries. Extraction remains impossible under current conditions, the colony administrator responded. But your mycelium network might offer a solution. If you can accelerate node deployment, the storm could diminish enough for rescue. Zara examined their remaining equipment. We have 3 deployment packages, but no way to distribute them in these conditions. Kate studied the facility's inventory logs and smiled. This is a mining facility. They have distribution drones. The drones designed for distributing mining explosives could be reprogrammed to deploy their remaining mycelium nodes at optimal locations. Kate modified the drones while Zara calibrated the deployment packages. Working together, they programmed flight paths that would maximize environmental impact. Using the facility's remaining power, they launched the drones into the storm for hours. They monitored the atmospheric readings, Kate rarely leaving the communication station. Zara noticed the human refused sleep or rest, maintaining constant vigilance. This single-minded focus seemed characteristic of her species when survival was at stake. Gradually, the atmospheric readings began to change. The mycelium network expanded exponentially. Each node spawned secondary growth that consumed atmospheric toxins. The storm began to lose intensity as its fuel source diminished. 26 hours after taking shelter, colony sensors confirmed sufficient atmospheric improvement for extraction. A team reached them as the facility power reserves approached critical levels. Returning to the colony, they were greeted as heroes. The mycelium network had not only reduced the immediate storm, but begun long-term atmospheric restoration. The colony's environmental systems registered significant reduction in toxic processing requirements. Administrator Maya reviewed their data with amazement. Your system has accomplished in days what our engineers projected would take years. The Colony Council is requesting immediate full-scale implementation. Academy representatives documented everything preparing. Reports for the Galactic Council. The success exceeded all expectations and offered possibilities for similar worlds throughout the galaxy. That evening in their assigned quarters, Kate finally allowed herself to rest. Her normally energetic presence, subdued by exhaustion, Zara observed her friend with new understanding. You never doubted we would survive. Kate smiled slightly. I considered all possibilities but focused on solutions. Humans learned long ago that despair is a luxury survival can't afford. Their final week on Proxima Beta passed quickly, implementing the full mycelium network across the colony. The system exceeded all performance projections. Within days, atmospheric toxicity decreased by 30%. Colony domes required less energy. For filtration, and outer areas showed first signs of potential habitability. Academy officials documented everything, preparing extensive reports for the Galactic Council. Their project represented a breakthrough in environmental restoration technology. The unique combination of Galatian precision and human adaptability created something neither civilization could have developed alone. On their final evening, Administrator Maya hosted a celebration for the science team and colony representatives. Kate and Zara found themselves treated as honored guests. Maya raised a toast to our Academy scientists whose innovative thinking has given our colony a future. Later, a colony engineer approached them, shaking his head in amazement. What fascinates me is how your organisms adapt to conditions that should kill them. They actually thrive on toxins that destroy other life. Kate smiled. That principle exists throughout Earth's biology. Life finds a way even in the harshest environments. Zara had heard this phrase from Kate before. It seemed to encapsulate the human philosophy of existence. When they returned to the Academy, their project had already gained significant attention. The Galactic Council requested a formal presentation. Students and professors alike studied their methodology. Principal Dorn called them to his office one morning. "I have received a request from the Galactic Restoration Committee," he explained. "Both of you are being offered positions to implement your system on other damaged worlds." Kate looked surprised. "We haven't even completed our Academy training." The principal nodded. "These are unprecedented circumstances. Your work on Proxima Beta has implications for dozens of worlds suffering similar environmental damage. The committee believes implementation cannot wait." Zara felt pride mixed with uncertainty. Galatians typically completed full academic requirements before accepting positions. This accelerated timeline felt chaotic, yet after their experiences, together the chaos seemed less threatening. That evening they discussed the offer in their quarters. "I'm surprised you're considering accepting, Zara." Kate said, "Our Academy certification is incomplete." Zara smiled, realizing how much she'd changed since their first meeting. "Certification documents knowledge experience provides wisdom. We have demonstrated our capabilities." Kate laughed softly. "That's almost a human perspective. Perhaps your species has valid insights." Zara admitted their new assignment would take them to 3 worlds requiring environmental restoration. Starting with Denova, a former agricultural planet damaged by industrial farming before departure, Kate received an unexpected communication from Earth. A second human delegation was arriving at the Academy, including military representatives. Kate was requested to attend their arrival. "Something troubles you," Zara observed as Kate prepared for the meeting. Kate hesitated. "I'm not sure why military personnel are included." Earth's agreement with the Galactic Council emphasized scientific and cultural exchange, not military presence. They proceeded to the arrival bay together, watching as the Earthship docked. Unlike the previous modest vessel, this craft appeared more substantial. With visible propulsion and defense systems, the delegation emerged, led by a distinguished human in formal attire. Ambassador Diane. She introduced herself. "This is General Allen, Earth Defense Force." Kate stepped forward as Earth representative at the Academy. "I wasn't informed of military participation in this delegation." The ambassador smiled diplomatically. "The Galactic Council approved our complete delegation roster. General Allen is here to discuss security cooperation." Zara observed the interaction, noting tension in Kate's posture. The human general studied the station with analytical interest that seemed beyond diplomatic curiosity. After formal introductions, Kate and Zara escorted the delegation to their quarters. "Kate, something ain't right," Kate whispered as they walked. "Earth military doesn't involve itself in scientific exchange without reason." Zara had grown to trust Kate's instincts. The human often perceived nuances. Galatian logic missed. Later that evening they attended the formal reception for Earth delegates. Ambassador Diane presented expanded cooperation initiatives, including educational exchanges, technological sharing, and defensive collaboration. Zara noticed Principal Dorn and other Academy officials seemed uncomfortable with the military aspects but unwilling to refuse Earth's overtures. General Allen discussed potential security threats to scientific outposts, citing recent incidents including a biological containment breach on the Academy station. How did they know about that incident, Zara wondered. The containment breach had been classified internal information. Kate apparently had the same concern. She approached Ambassador Diane requesting private conversation. Zara followed, maintaining appropriate distance, but close enough to observe Ambassador with respect. The Academy is a scientific institution. Earth agreed to these terms when joining military involvement complicates our position. The Ambassador smiled. Kate, Your work has opened doors. Your environmental system demonstrated Earth's value to the galactic community. But scientific contribution is only one aspect of membership. General Allen joined them. Humans have unique perspectives on security. The containment breach you experienced demonstrates vulnerabilities. We offer expertise born from centuries of protecting against threats. Kate's expression hardened. My work was meant to heal damaged worlds, not advance military objectives. The general shrugged pragmatically. Science serves many purposes. Your restoration system has military applications. Environmental warfare has shaped conflicts throughout Earth's history. What destroys can also restore. Kate stepped back, visibly disturbed. After the reception, Kate and Zara retreated to a quiet observation deck. Kate, staring at distant stars. They're using our work. Zara, Kate said softly. Our environmental system wasn't meant for this. Zara considered the implications. Any technology could serve multiple purposes. Galatian philosophy separated scientific advancement from application ethics, but humans apparently viewed them as connected. What will you do? Zara asked. Kate turned to her, expression resolute. We modify our implementation. Before our departure, we adjust the mycelium genetic coding. Any attempt to weaponize the system will trigger organism breakdown. Zara blinked in surprise. That would require significant recoding. But the underlying concept was sound, a genetic failsafe against misuse. For 3 days, they worked continuously modifying their system. Kate, canceling appearances with the Earth delegation. When General Allen requested access to their research, Zara cited Academy intellectual property protocols. The night before their scheduled departure for Denova, Kate received an encrypted message from Dr. Olivia Carson, her former mentor. Kate, be cautious. General Allen represents military interests that opposed our joining the Academy. They see your work as proof. Humans can develop unique technologies valuable to galactic security. Diane is under pressure to demonstrate Earth relevance beyond scientific contribution. Kate shared the message with Zara. I suspected something similar. Our project succeeded beyond expectations, suddenly making Earth more interesting to the Council. Zara contemplated the complex political dynamics behind the scientific exchange, lurked governmental agendas and military interests, a familiar pattern across species. The following morning, they boarded their research vessel for Denova, Principal Dorn seeing them off. Personally, the Earth delegation has requested you remain, Kate, he said. Their military representatives wish to discuss defensive applications of your environmental system. Kate stood firm. My work with Zara continues on. Denova. Our commitment is to the Restoration Committee. As their ship departed, Zara observed the Earth vessel still docked at the station. Do you believe they will pursue military applications despite our modifications? Kate watched the Academy station diminish behind them. Humans are persistent when motivated, but so am I. Our work will help worlds heal, not create new weapons. Zara felt unexpected optimism. Kate's determination matched Galatian resolve, but with adaptability rather than rigidity. Together they represented something new, a scientific partnership transcending individual species limitations. Their vessel accelerated toward Denova, the first of many worlds awaiting restoration. Their journey together had only begun, combining the best aspects of their civilizations to create something greater than either alone. Kate smiled as stars streaked past the viewport, ready for their next challenge. Together they would face whatever came, whether scientific puzzles, environmental disasters, or political complications. Humans and Galatians each brought unique strengths to the galaxy. Together they might forge a better path than either could alone.